Part 51. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 501. Thinking of this, Suchen felt excited. Activate unlimited fusion talent immediately. Ding. The minimum number of super god level fusions required for the current fusion, 1000 times. Seeing this prompt, Suchen was so surprised that a mouthful of blood didn't come out. I go. Upgrading the supplements of the Heavenly Book to the general outline of the Heavenly Book actually requires a full 1000 super god level fusion times. What is the rank of this Heavenly Book general outline? It actually takes so many super god level fusion times to fuse it. Suddenly, it seemed that he realized something. Suchen was shocked. Could it be that, is the so-called, world class? Thinking of this, Suchen calmed down. It seems that the Heavenly Book general outline must be world class. Otherwise, it would be impossible to recreate a perfect world like the divine world. It is impossible to get so many super god level fusion times in a short period of time. I just don't know how much reduction can be achieved if I use power of God. Next, Suchen focused on the stone statue. On his upper body, he was wearing a mottled armor with all the divine light gone. Ding. You get the fourth Kingdom artifact that has lost its power. Ding. The minimum number of super god level fusions required for current fusion, 10 times. Do you want to fuse? Fusion. Fusion in progress, fusion successful. Congratulations on obtaining the Qing Emperor's artifact God Supreme Armor. God Supreme Armor, number of holes that can be embedded, 4. Level, artifact. Player restrictions, Junlin. Level requirements, level 100. Defense, 10,000. Additional attributes, health add 3000, constitution add 100, strength add 100, agility add 100, intelligence add 100, supreme, can reduce all attacks in the world, all attack effects are reduced by 90%, divine wisdom, can obtain 1000 qualification stars every day. Description: one of the peerless artifacts of the Qing Emperor of the Great Yan Empire thousands of years ago. Collect them all. The 6 divine weapons can slay the heavens and destroy the earth, and sweep across the 6 realms of gods and demons. The basic defense value of the supreme armor is 10,000 points. With the blessing of suit attribute, 1, it can achieve a defense effect of 40,000 points. But for Suchen now, this defense value is just something that can be obtained by eating a few fragments of the sacred monument. What he focused on was the 2 additional equipment attributes that this new artifact carried. Supreme. Shenhui. Suchen was overjoyed when he saw the supreme attribute that could reduce 90% of attacks. Very good. With this attribute, I can be greatly reduced to 10% of a god level attack. In this way, if I accumulate a few more days of defense value, I will be able to harden a primary god level attack. In addition, the equipment attribute Shenhui can provide Suchen with up to 1000 points of qualification attribute every day. In this way, Suchen will eat the fragments of the sacred monument faster every day in the future. You can also gain defense improvements faster. This supreme battle armor is worthy of its name. It is indeed the Qing Emperor's artifact. That's right. There is also the 3rd suit attribute activated. Suchen quickly put on this God Supreme armor. The 3rd suit attribute was immediately activated. Dragon King. 6 artifact set attributes, 3 Dragon King. You can add all the defensive attributes of the Dragon Knight to yourself. There is no limit to the number. The effect lasts for 10 minutes and the cooling time is 1 natural day. What the hell? Seeing this Dragon King attribute, Suchen's eyes widened. It actually added the defensive attribute of the Dragon Knight to himself. And the number is not limited. Now Suchen has 900,000 new God and Demon Dragon Knights. All have been built. Now I have 1,000,000 gods and demons Dragon Knights, as well as 9-8 Desolation's Dragon Knights. If I add all the defensive attributes of these Dragon Knights to myself, wouldn't it be equivalent to invincibility? Let me calculate, what are the total defensive attributes of these million Dragon Knights? Suchen suppressed his excitement and made some calculations in his mind. The defense of a level 150 God and Demon Dragon Rider is 1.5 million points. The defense of a level 150 Bawang Dragon Rider is 3.5 million points. In addition, my Dragon King position can additionally increase the attributes of the units I lead by 100%. In this way, if all the defense attributes of the Dragon Riders are added to me, the defense can be increased by about 3 trillion. If on this basis, another 310 times is opened, God descends to earth. Damn it! Who else in this world can beat me? However, the duration is only 10 minutes, and the cooling time is as long as one natural day. It is equivalent to having a life-saving and counter-attack trump card that can only be used at critical moments. Well, it looks like I have to continue eating the fragments of the sacred monument. Click, click. The milk-flavored tablet fragments tasted very good, and Suchen ate them with open belly. Now it has 10 times the acceleration time and can obtain 30 super god level fusions every day. Currently, it has obtained a total of 251 super god level fusions. Suchen's own basic defense value has reached nearly 2 billion points. In addition, the heavenly universe formation has devoured all the high-energy treasures previously collected from all the tribes in the divine continent. The current total energy has reached 550 billion. It is no problem to withstand primary and even intermediate god-level attacks. Just when Suchen was busy improving his attributes and strength. The entrance to the well of gods and demons. The god of thunder was lying on the ground, dripping with cold sweat and shivering. In the void, the extremely impatient and loud voices of the 5 great gods were heard. Jinglei, didn't you say that guy would come over in 2 days at most? How many days have it been now? Do you dare to play tricks on us, the ancient protector of the world? Yo yo yo, Jinglei Lord God was so frightened by the drink that he screamed, hurriedly waved his hands and said, don't dare, don't dare. Little God doesn't dare. We did find Junlin in the southwest corner of Tianyuan before. With his speed, he will definitely be able to reach us in less than 2 days, unless what? Jinglei Lord God's eyes were blank and he said, unless, the other party is lost? Arodi? Or, don't know where our well of gods and demons is. For a moment, the 5 great sages in the void also became silent. Ahem, it is indeed possible. It seems that we have overestimated the ability of King's Landing. In this case, thunder. Ah! Little God is here. Hearing the shouts of the venerables, the thunder god's tiger body trembled, and an ominous premonition suddenly arose in his heart. Since the other party doesn't know where this well of gods and demons is, then go and lure him over. Give you 3 days, no mistakes. Ha! Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 502. The god of thunder was so shocked that his hair stood on end. Let me go over and lure the killing god from Junlin? I been there, can Junlin be tempted? Didn't you click me halfway? Jinglei Lord God immediately wanted to escape. However, he could not bear the responsibility of disobeying His Majesty's orders. As his thoughts suddenly changed, Fuz Hickson shouted loudly, Dear lords, the little god feels that with the extremely weak strength of the little god, the success rate is really not high if he wants to lure Junlin over. It's better, to do it again. Ask a few of your fellow lord gods to go and seduce them together with the little gods. It's better to die for me than to die for a whole group of people. I can't bear this crime alone. Even if I die, I will have to drag in a few people to support me. What's more, there are too many people. Maybe King's Landing will ignore me for the sake of my weakness, and just let me escape? Lord Jinglei thought with pride and luck in his heart. Well, that's okay too. Who do you think is appropriate to call over? The five venerables think it is feasible. After all, even if they are stronger than the main gods, in the eyes of these venerables, they are just like pawns and can be commanded at will. As long as Junlin, the reincarnation of the Qing Emperor, can be removed, even if a few main gods die, so what's the harm? It all depends on His Majesty's orders. The more people, the better. The thunder god prostrated himself on the ground, a look of success flashed across his face. After 2 days of searching, Lord Jinglei, using the hundreds of millions of gods and demons in Tianyuan, finally found the location of Suchen's time and space fortress. He is actually still wandering on the edge of the northeastern corner of the land of Tianyuan. From the southwest to the northeast, we circled most of the circle for 10 days, but we didn't even get close to the center well of gods and demons. The god of thunder was really shocked when he discovered this situation. Did this guy do it on purpose? He secretly guessed. At this time, behind him, there were 100 general-level gods and demons, as well as an army of millions of true gods and demigod-level gods and demons. In addition, there were 5 old men with long faces, the Lord God, whose eyes wished he could swallow the thunder god alive, followed behind him. Jinglei, if you can come back alive this time, I want you to look good, the dark god said with a fierce expression. Don't think that since you are the main god of the heaven, my god realm can't do anything to you. We have established a bridge between us, the great god of light said with the same gloomy face. The other great gods of Jade Dragon, great demon of Solo, and Bodhisattva of Paradise also glared fiercely at the Lord of Thunder. These 5 lords had blood feuds with Suchen before. After Suchen killed God of War Ares Kasidagarba Bodhisattva Suzaku before Venerable, they were still thinking about regaining their strength and seeking revenge. But after hearing that Suchen powerfully killed 3 top gods, he no longer had such thoughts. Even the invincible beings under the God Lord can be killed at will. So what level of strength has Junlin achieved? If he goes to seek revenge from Suchen, what's the difference between that and seeking death? But now they were suddenly called by the 5 great sages to assist Lord Jinglei in luring Suchen into the well of gods and demons trap, and all of them suddenly turned dark. Naturally, they knew what the thunder god had planned. He clearly knew that this operation had a narrow chance of death, so he just wanted to support a few people. The god of thunder is now barefoot and not afraid of wearing shoes. With an expression as if a dead pig is not afraid of boiling water, he said, "Hey, as long as I can lure Junlin into the trap set by the venerables, successfully kill Junlin, and eliminate a major disaster for our 6 realms, I will let you do whatever you want." "Why not?" he said with a righteous look. In the eyes of the dark god and others, it is really disgusting. Snort. The dark god and others also know that it is useless to say anything now. Only when they return alive can they settle the debt. At the moment, the 6 major gods, leading millions of gods and demons, are heading towards the place where Suchen is. The northeast corner of Tianyuan land. The time and space fortress where Yingying controls Fire World is still strolling leisurely. These days, she has built another 10,000 advanced god-killing towers one after another. Currently, the 20,000 god-killing towers have all been upgraded to levels between 20 and 30 after 12 days of continuous slaughter of gods and demons. The attack of each god-killing tower reaches 15 million to 22.5 million points. The rate of fire is even more terrifying, reaching 15 to 22 rounds per second. In other words, a single god-killing tower can unleash at least 200 million real damage attacks in 1 second. At the same time, the range has also reached a terrifying distance of 150 to 225 kilometers. Basically, all the gods and demons you encounter now can be killed in one face-to-face encounter. Kill as many as they come without giving the opponent a chance to react. But this made Li Vaden, who was staying outside to relax, even more miserable. It's been more than 10 days, and there's not even an enemy who can move his muscles. And every day I saw Suchen either in retreat or on the way to retreat. Levaden always felt that Suchen was not as weak as he said on the surface. If he continues to be in seclusion like this, when he encounters a powerful enemy, we still don't know who is stronger and who can steal the show. No. King's Landing, you can't wander around like this anymore, you must go to the well of gods and demons. I have sworn an oath to help you, but if you continue to mess around like this, I will also work hard for you, without any effort. Seeing Levaden's anxious look, Suchen shrugged. Okay, then change the direction of travel and go to Well of Gods and Demons. Anyway, with his current attributes and skills, there is no problem with becoming a hard steel junior god. In addition, the experience value currently stored in the experience storage tank has reached an unprecedented 7 trillion. If you use the Azura strike skill and use all the experience points, you may be able to kill even the intermediate gods instantly. The number of super god level fusions has also accumulated to 311 times. And now he also needs divine power fragments or divine power to integrate and improve God descends to earth hunting, mark attribute, plunder and other skills. The most important thing is to use the power of God to reduce the number of super god level fusions required to fuse the general outline of the heavenly book. If you can obtain the complete, perfect heavenly creation magic, then he wouldn't have to work as hard to improve his attributes, strength, and skills as he does now. Directly using the power of the most original rules to turn the 6 realms, and even the 6 realms of gods and demons, into a part of his fire realm. When the time comes, let alone the so-called venerable protector of the ancient world, even the lord of the 6 realms, Jade Emperor Tathagata Demon Queen, they are just like earth and stone who can decide their life or death at will. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 503. In this way, Suchen's side and Jinglei Lord God's side happened to be facing each other. After one day, the two sides met halfway. Because there were reports from gods and demons along the way, Lord Jinglei had always been aware of Suchen's whereabouts. The key is that the latter has no intention of hiding his whereabouts. Along the way, they met gods and killed gods, met demons and killed demons, and were bombarded indiscriminately. It's not easy for the Thunder God and the others to know. Owner. There are millions of gods and demons blocking the way ahead. Yingying sat in the center of the fortress and said to Suchen excitedly. Even Levaden's eyes lit up. Grandma is a bitch. Finally I found one that I can need twice. After more than 10 days of boredom, Ji Mengli and the other girls felt refreshed when they saw millions of gods and demons arrayed in the void, looking eager to try. It's agreed. Of the 6 main gods, I want the strongest 5, and the rest belong to you. Levaden stood in the fortress and said to Ji Mengli and others. The reason why he stayed in the fortress's flame world was mainly because he was afraid that his own strength would frighten the opponent away. After all, after so many days, it was not easy to meet several people of the same level. Opponent, no matter what, you have to have fun. In response to this, Ji Mengli and the other girls just smiled. Whoever steals it wins. Even the 12 ancient behemoths who have been staying in the Dragon City want to go out and have applied to Suchen to fight. If the Thunder God and the Dark God on the other side knew about this, they would probably not even think about forming an array to show off. No, I just turned around and ran away. Today. Let's kill the thief of Junlin together. The main god of thunder stood behind the army, holding a thunder whip composed of thousands of thunder and lightning, and shouted. The main gods such as Diablo and Jade Dragon next to him just looked on with cold eyes. The thunder god is really powerful, why not take the lead and lead an army of millions of gods and demons to attack the enemy? The great god of light sneered. The Lord of Thunder pretended not to understand the sarcasm, and laughed and said, "It's just to boost morale. Do you want to come and roar a few times to boost morale?" The 5 main gods rolled their eyes crazily. Seeing that the distance between the two sides was close to 200 kilometers. At that moment, the main god Jinglei swung Thunder Whip in the air, and countless dark cracks were immediately cut in the void. Attack! Boom! Millions of gods and demons, led by 100 general-level gods and demons, launched an all-out attack on the time and space fortress where Suchen was. The momentum was so huge that it sent terrifying ripples throughout the void, attacking Suchen. The side swept over. However, Li Vaden, Ji Mengli and others who were originally preparing to take action curled their lips when they saw this. What the hell? To actually let the soldiers charge into the battle first, these 6 main gods are too cowardly. Ji Mengli complained. Well, I hope Sister Yingying will be a little gentler, otherwise, she will scare away the 6 main gods and we will be bored for many days. Yun Fiyin on the side, also holding a magic axe, sighed. Soon, millions of gods and demons entered the 50-kilometer shooting range of the time and space fortress. Even the slowest gods and demons were still in the god-killing tower 150 within a 1,000-meter shooting range. Yingying, who was currently sitting in the center, smiled slightly. Activate all 20,000 god-killing towers. Aim at millions of gods and demons, and launch a shocking blow. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I saw streaks of red. The bloody stream of tail flames, like a rain of arrows in the sky, shoots towards the millions of gods and demons on the opposite side. To the millions of gods and demons on the opposite side, these bloody streams of light are like a huge bloody rainbow bridge with a width of tens of kilometers, spanning across it spanned hundreds of kilometers and enveloped them all. And it was continuous like a waterfall. When the semi-god level gods and demons encountered these bloody streams of light, they didn't even make a sound, and they exploded into blood mist. Even the true god level gods and demons, under the attack of such a terrifying bloody waterfall, they cannot survive for a second. Only those gods and demons who have reached the general level can quickly turn around and run away when the attack is approaching and they find something wrong. But Suchen's god-killing tower, the rate of fire has reached 15 to 22 rounds per second. The farthest range can cover 225 kilometers. Where can they escape if they want to? In just 10 seconds. Millions of people struck across the tower. All the gods and demons that came were slaughtered by the 20,000 god-killing towers. From the perspective of Jinglei and the other 6 main gods who were sitting at the back, it was almost a face-to-face meeting, without even touching a hair on the other side, and millions of gods and demons were wiped out. The 6 major gods looked at each other, and they all saw incredible horror in each other's eyes. Even millions of gods and demons couldn't hold this bloody waterfall for 10 seconds. How many more seconds could they, the 6 major gods, hold on? With their main god-level eyesight, they can clearly see clearly. Each of these blood-colored streams of light actually has real damage-level attacks. God-demonic level defenses have no effect at all under such attacks. What's more, in the space-time fortress, there is also an even more terrifying man-eating demon king, King's Landing. At that moment, the 6 main gods screamed, and they all turned around and ran away. Each one escaped faster than the other. Although the thunder god is the weakest among the 6, he is worthy of being a major. The main god of the thunder element. A thunder exploded, and his figure flashed in front of everyone. He was so angry that the 5 main gods behind him yelled, "Male Gobe, you are not good at fighting, but you are the best at cheating and escaping. When I catch you, if I don't destroy half of your body, I, the Dark God, will write my name upside down. Jinglei, I am your ancestor." Millions of gods and demons were cleared. The 6 main gods fled. This scene was both expected by Li Vaden and others, but also unexpected by them. The main reason was, these main gods ran too fast. Levaden shouted angrily at the moment with the sound. After rushing out of the fortress, the thousands-mile-long true body of ocean overlord Leviathan immediately appeared. 10,000-mile-long tentacles suddenly flicked. The void immediately collapsed for thousands of miles. And its huge body also disappeared. He disappeared. All he heard was an extremely furious roar coming from the void. "You son of a bitch, the Lord God of the six realms, I'm going to run away from your sister, die for me." On the other side, among the women, the fastest Mecha condensed into silver water droplets and turned into a flash of light, and also pursued the six main gods. In the fortress, Mengli stamped her little feet and shouted angrily, "Coward, liar, coward." Yun Fiyan consoled him from the side. "Forget it, these gods and demons should be here as bait, and they are not fighting sincerely at all. Judging from the direction they are escaping from, it should be well of gods and demons. When we get there, there will be a fight." Mengli said bitterly, "When we get to the well of gods and demons, I will roast them all thoroughly." Suchen just smiled at this scene. At that moment, he ordered Yingying to control the time and space fortress, use the teleportation method, follow the six escaping gods, and rush towards the well of gods and demons. At the same time, 12 ancient behemoths, Lu Yuanzong, Gadling Bodhisattva, and others issued orders to prepare for battle. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 504. Ding. The demon world's jade dragon god has been killed by ocean overlord Leviathan. Ding. The demon world's solo demon has been killed by ocean overlord Leviathan. Ding. The ghost world dark god has been killed by your divine pet ex machina. Gain experience value *500 billion. Get essence of gods and demons *700. Your reputation in the ghost world is -500 billion. Half an hour later, 3 system prompts sounded in Suchen's mind. Immediately afterwards, Levaden and Ex Machina, looking furious, returned to the fortress. Damn it! 3 of them were still allowed to run away. The Thunder God was the fastest and was as slippery as a loach. When I meet him next time, I will just swallow him. Levaden cursed all the way. Obviously, the battle just now did not make him happy. But this may not be because this guy is showing off his fighting power. Mengli and other women surrounded Ex Machina, marveling at the latter's powerful strength. Suchen did the same, surprised. Levaden himself has top god level strength, and it is no problem to kill 2 high-level gods. But with Ex Machina's junior god level strength, he can actually kill the dark god who has reached the high-level god level. It is really surprising. Beyond Suchen's expectation. "Little sister, tell me quickly, how did you kill the dark god?" Yun Fiyan took Ex Machina's hand and asked. Ex Machina waved her hand and said that guy was actually beaten to death by Levaden, and then he just flew in front of me, and I penetrated him directly for 120 seconds. 10 holes, he died without much struggle. Hiss. Hearing Ex Machina's unpretentious words, several women around him took a breath. For a moment, the eyes they looked at Ex Machina became a little different. Fighting mad Mengli looked even more admiring. Looking at Ex Machina, he asked her for advice on how to speed up his flight. Levaden, who was standing aside, ready to accept the admiration of everyone, stood like an orphan for a few minutes. In the end, he found that no one paid attention to him, so he had to look for it alone. "I've gone to a place to take a good nap." Thunder God rushed to the entrance of the well of gods and demons with sparks and lightning. Only then could he stop his desperate running. "Don't care if you are sweating profusely." Pale, he patted his chest. "It was so dangerous. Fortunately, I brought 5 people on my back, but 3 of them died. If I had gone alone, I would have died completely." Then he said with great fear. "Unexpectedly, even that bastard Lirishan is here." This guy has been sealed for 1,000,000 years, but he is still so fierce. Now my 6 realms will be torn to pieces again. At this time, 2 more streams of light flew over. Jinglei, you shameless villain. Hearing the shout, the god of thunder was so frightened that lightning exploded all over his body, and he almost turned into lightning and escaped out of habit. When he heard clearly that it was the Bodhisattva of paradise and the Lord of light, he breathed a sigh of relief. There were 2 streaks of gold and white in the void. Streaming light and lightning came in. There was even a trace of murderous intent shrouding the main god Jinglei. The latter was startled and shouted quickly, "Brothers, please don't be angry. The 5 venerable lords are already waiting in the void. The 3 of us should work together to lure the king over and cooperate with the lords to kill this beast. That is the business." The implication is that the 5 immemorial world-protecting venerables are around. If you ruin the great event of the venerables to kill King Lin, you will have to go around in trouble. Although the Bodhisattva of ultimate bliss and the Lord of light are furious at the moment, to the extreme. But it can only be suppressed by force. Cooperating with the thunder god, pretending to be frightened and losing all his power, waiting for Suchen at the entrance of the well of gods and demons. Buzz. 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 The time and space fortress is in Yingying. Under the control of. In the endless void of the abyss, teleportation flashed continuously. Soon he arrived at the well of gods and demons located 100 kilometers away in the center of the abyss land. Suchen immediately asked Yingying and other girls to stay there, do not move rashly in the fortress. Although he used the Solomon crystal ball along the way, he was unable to find the specific location where the 5 great sages were ambushing. But with the report from the demon lord, he was naturally prepared. At the moment, he only stepped out of the fortress with Li Vaden, looking at the 3 thunder gods who were pretending at the entrance. They sneered. "Come out." The dignified Lord Protector of the world also did such bad things as setting up traps and ambushes. He must have been holding it in for more than 10 days, and he was already feeling very uncomfortable, right? Suchen sneered wildly. In 5 unknown void nodes, tiny ripples slowly swayed out, representing the psychological fluctuations of the 5 venerables who were furious and wanted to kill. Li Vaden was manifesting the true form of the ocean overlord, stood in front of Suchen, preparing for a killing spree. Suddenly hearing Suchen's words, the 10,000-mile-long tentacles froze. He turned around in shock and looked at Suchen blankly. "What did you just say? What kind of world protector? Here, is there a deity setting up an ambush?" Suchen shrugged and said, "What if, did the 6 realms just send those 3 little shrimps just to kill you and me?" The Lord of Light and the Bodhisattva of Bliss, whom Suchen ruthlessly called Xiao Xiamai, was so angry that the veins on his forehead were popping and his face was ashen. The key point was that they couldn't refute. After all, with their strength here, they really didn't dare to fight against the current Suchen. On the other hand, Lord Jinglei looked much calmer. He was the weakest among everyone anyway. As long as he could escape with his life in this operation, he would be grateful to God, and then vowed that he would never step into the abyss again for the rest of his life. And Suchen here, Li Vaden was shocked to death by his words. The ancient world-protecting venerable, the world-protecting venerable, the venerable one. These words exploded like thunder in his mind, and then continued to echo. Li Vaden's voice changed, and he stared at Suchen in disbelief and shouted, "You knew that there was an ambush here, and you brought me here." Suchen said as if he should have said so, "That's right. Is there any problem? Li Vaden. Is this world too crazy? Or am I stupid? Is he too naive, or am I bragging too much in front of him, making him think that I, Li Richhen, am really capable of surviving all day long? Am I afraid that if I didn't form a team with a fool, he would actually dare to use steel against even a god? Fool, run away." Li Vaden came back to his senses, and his huge body thousands of miles away rolled up Suchen, and he was about to escape back to the time and space fortress. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 505. But it was too late. The 5 sages, who had been waiting impatiently for a long time and were furious at Suchen's words, stepped out of the void nodes in an instant. I saw the infinite power of Yuan Yang rippling all over his body, like a sun-like god of 10,000 miles. In just a moment, he stopped in front of Li Vaden. There is another Buddha with a big belly of thousands of miles, with a fake smile that has never changed for eternity on his face, and a terrifying aura that is still far above the sun-like god of thousands of miles. With a light step, he stepped on the time and space fortress, causing it cannot move. There are 3 other Wanli gods surrounding him, forming a blockade trend. In just a moment, the 5 gods completed their formation to surround Suchen and his time and space fortress. Don't give the other party any chance to react at all. The terrifying murderous aura is as solid as substance. Even the 3 thunder gods who were staying at the entrance of the well of gods and demons felt frightened and retreated repeatedly. However, these 3 people did not dare to escape without the permission of the god. As for the great god of light and the Bodhisattva of paradise, who had a blood feud with Suchen, they were even more reluctant to miss the opportunity to witness Suchen's fall. King's Landing, what's the use of your extraordinary talents? The only blame is that you were too stupid to fall into the desperate formation set by this god. I really look forward to it. How desperate will you beg for mercy next? Ha 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 ha. Guangming and Bliss laughed wildly in their hearts. Li Vaden was already heartbroken. He happened to have heard a few of these 5 gods and could probably identify them. Venerable Yuanyang, Venerable Xianming, Lord of Ghost Prison. There is also Maitreya Buddha, Sky God Uranus. 3 junior gods, 2 intermediate gods, my dear mother. This is a hell of a place. No matter how strong my resistance is or how big my immortal body is, I can't withstand the siege of so many gods. King's Landing, you have hurt me. The 5 gods completed the encirclement, and Venerable Yuan Yang, who was leading the way like the sun, shouted with an extremely indifferent and unquestioning tone of a superior Junlin, "Why don't you hurry up and capture us?" Suchen ignored Yuan Yang. His Holiness shouted. With a calm look on his face, he asked Li Vaden, who was full of despair, "Did you take action or did I take action?" "Nanny." Li Vaden stared blankly at Suchen. "I'm afraid this brother is scared out of his mind. These 5 gods are surrounding you, why do you want me to take action? What the hell? Didn't you see that I'm waiting to die? Really?" Seeing that Li Vaden was silent for a long time, Suchen took out the divine bow, nameless, and said, "Then don't blame me for stealing your limelight later." Li Vaden stared blankly at Suchen's bow and arrow, as if he was looking at his neighbor's silly stick-making son, holding a small slingshot, as if he thought he could kill the sky and destroy the earth. Millions of grass and mud horses rushed through his heart. Stealing my limelight? Are you still thinking about stealing the limelight at this time? You hold a small bow and arrow, and you think you can shoot 5 gods? How come I, Li Rishan, have to suffer so much to meet such a heartless person like you? Wait. Li Vaden suddenly felt a flash of lightning in his heart. He stiffened his head, stared at Suchen, and said faintly, "Could it be, that you have been hiding your true strength from me? This guy is usually a ghostly ghost, and he doesn't look like this when making a staff. Has he been lying to me? The real him actually has terrifying combat power against the god of war? I'm confused." Thinking of this, Li Vaden's heart was full of disbelief. If Suchen concealed his strength, his true combat power was invincible under the god, and he was on the same level as him, which was barely believable. But to say that Suchen had god-level combat power, and he could compete with 3 a junior god, 2 intermediate gods. Li Vaden didn't believe it no matter what. As expected, Suchen said sincerely, "No. You see, I have changed my career and stopped doing close combat. Now I only dare to stand in the distance and shoot arrows. While talking. While turning on the 310-fold increase, God descends to earth. The body suddenly increased to more than 500 meters, and the attack increased to 36.5 billion points. Aim the arrows at the three thunder gods who are standing at the entrance of the well of gods and demons. In a rapid tremor that is difficult to detect with the naked eye. In the distance, the god of thunder, the god of light, and the bodhisattva of ultimate bliss all fell to the ground without any warning. In just one moment, he was completely dead. He didn't even have time to react, and the corpse still had a sneer, sarcasm, and a theatrical look on it. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the Heaven Realm Thunder God and gaining experience points *150 billion. Get Essence of Gods and Demons *600. Your reputation in heaven is -150 billion. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the God of Light in the God Realm and gaining experience points *300 billion. Get Essence of Gods and Demons *700. Your reputation in heaven is -300 billion. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the Paradise Bodhisattva and gaining experience points *300 billion. Get Essence of Gods and Demons *700. Your reputation in heaven is -300 billion. These three main gods are incomparable to the invincible top main gods under gods such as Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. With Suchen's arrow flight speed of 300 times and attack speed of 100 times per second, there is no resistance at all. Just any 5 times or even 10 times the true damage level critical hit, one arrow can take away a main god. Seeing all this, Levaden was dumbfounded. You just told me that you didn't hide your strength, and you turned around and killed three main gods in an instant. It's so special that even Levaden, who lives in the world, doesn't have such fighting power. Please be a human being and show some face. Don't you even need the most basic integrity between people? Be bold. Presumptuous. Seeing that Suchen ignored the 5 gods surrounding him and killed 3 main gods under their noses. Although the 3 main gods died, they didn't care. But Suchen's behavior obviously did not affect them. Take it seriously. For a moment, the mighty coercion of the god level came towards Suchen. Levaden, who had the top god level strength, was directly pressed into the void with his huge figure thousands of miles away. He couldn't move at all. Immediately afterwards, Venerable Yuan Yang, who was like a bright sun, punched Suchen with a punch. It was like a bright sun pressing over him, and there was a melting. All the power in the world cannot be avoided or avoided. Die. On the other side, the huge Maitreya Buddha who was stepping on the time and space fortress also raised his giant legs and stepped heavily towards the time and space fortress. Break. Seeing this scene, Levaden was lying motionless on the ground, with only endless despair and regret left in his heart. It's over, I'm still going to die. I think that I, Li Rishan, have a great reputation and could live as long as the sun and the moon, but I don't want to die here. I haven't even been in the limelight. I'm not willing to give in. However, Suchen still looked calm. Even terrifyingly calm. The time and space fortress was hit by the intermediate god with all his strength, but he didn't even look at it. He didn't seem to be worried at all. He raised the divine bow in his hand and pointed it at Venerable Yuan Yang, the Hao sun coming over the sky, bending the bow and setting an arrow. Shoot the sun. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 506. 5 times critical hit, -1825. 10 times critical hit, -3650. 10 times critical hit, -3927. Life bonus. Terrifying critical hit and rate of fire. At 0.01 seconds, Venerable Yuan Yang, whose blood volume dropped less than 2%, looked slightly surprised. At 0.1 second, his blood volume dropped by 25%, and he was horrified. In 0.3 seconds, Venerable Yuan Yang, whose blood volume dropped by more than 7 trillion, hurriedly switched from offense to defense, turning the Hao Sun in his hand into defensive essence to protect himself. However, Suchen's arrows had the power of an ancestral dragon, and their attacks ignored all defenses. Even Venerable Yuan Yang's god-level Yuan Yang true essence could not block Suchen's terrifying attack. In 0.4 seconds, with the opponent's extremely horrified expression, Venerable Yuan Yang's blood volume was emptied. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the junior god in heaven Venerable Yuan Yang. Gain experience points *10 trillion. Obtain fragments of divine power *10. Your reputation in heaven is -10 trillion. The majestic ancient world protector and god-level being could not walk in Suchen's hands for less than 0.4 seconds. He didn't even hold on for half a second and fell directly. Rumbling. The void shook. It seemed that even the heaven and earth were worried about this. Shocked by the fall of a god-level powerful man. This scene shocked the four surrounding sages. In such a short period of time, you have gained such strength, and I can't even keep you here today. Come and die to me, the god of the sky Uranus, who possesses the strength of an intermediate god, is furious. In the void, a silent, but extremely black sky thunder, like a crack in the void, descends in an instant at an unbelievable terrifying speed. Suchen's head. -0. Avoid death. Ding. You are under fatal attack. 6 artifact set attributes, 2 hegemony has been activated automatically, consumes 1 layer of hegemonic status, locks the health status within 3 seconds, and at the same time returns all attacks received to the opponent as real injuries, the current remaining hegemonic status, level 3. What shocked everyone was that in this terrifying killing blow, Suchen did not move at all and was not damaged at all. On the contrary, God of the Sky Uranus on the opposite side floated a -270,000, a terrifying damage value of billion. The intermediate god's health of 100 billion dropped by more than a quarter in an instant. This scene shocked God of the Sky Uranus. Because this attack came from it was too weird. There was no sign at all. He suffered huge damage directly. How can it be? On Suchen's side, he activated the flicker skill, whose actual power has reached the god level, and stepped to the side of God of the Sky, Auranos. At the same time, the heavy sword Emperor of Death was already in hand. Phew. Actually, he took advantage of the moment when God of the Sky, Auranos was slightly distracted, and slashed at the opponent with a sword. Shura's blow. Experience points consumed *630 trillion. -63 trillion. Ding. Congratulations on successfully killing the intermediate god in the god realm God of the Sky, Auranos. Gain experience points *100 trillion. Obtain power of God *5. Your reputation in heaven is -100 trillion. Sky god Uranus, a huge damage value floated above his head. The blood volume is cleared. The huge divine body of Wanli was cut into 2 halves. For a moment, the blood of the deity poured out like sea water. Boom. At this time, the intermediate god Maitreya Buddha on the other side has already stepped into the time and space fortress. Break it for me. The huge power of the golden god collided with the heaven universe formation on the periphery of the time and space fortress. There were actually extremely terrifying waves of the power of the god. The surrounding void was directly affected by the constant fluctuations, and it became quiet and peaceful. It was flat and cut in half. It formed a circular void section covering 100,000 miles, and endless void turbulence surged out from it, making this battlefield even more dangerous. At the same time, Maitreya Buddha, the step was not just a simple blow. It was a hidden secret. One step actually contained hundreds of terrifying attacks. However, the time and space fortress was knocked back thousands of miles by just this step. The whole thing was still intact. System notifications also sounded in Suchen's mind. Ding. Your heaven-universe formation is attacked by an intermediate god-level attack. The formation was attacked by a powerful attack that exceeded its defense capabilities, consuming energy *1 billion. The formation obtains new energy *10 billion through the transformation absorption attribute. The current total energy of the array, 559 billion. Ding. Your heaven-universe formation is attacked by an intermediate god-level attack. The formation was attacked by a powerful attack that exceeded its defense capabilities, consuming energy *1 billion. The formation obtains new energy *10 billion through the transformation absorption attribute. The current total energy of the array, 568 billion. Ding. Ding. Your heaven-universe formation is attacked by an intermediate god-level attack. The formation was attacked by a powerful attack that exceeded its defense capabilities, consuming energy *1 billion. The formation obtains new energy *10 billion through the transformation absorption attribute. The current total energy of the array, 1.45 trillion. In just a short moment, Suchen's heavenly universe formation absorbed up to 900 billion units of energy from this terrifying attack by Maitreya Buddha. This is more energy than can be obtained by devouring high-energy divine items. Even faster. How can this be? Buddha Maitreya saw that the time and space fortress that he had knocked away, instead of being broken, seemed to be more stable. This shocked him greatly. When Suchen saw this, he could activate the 6 artifact set attributes, 3 Dragon King. Add all the defensive attributes of the millions of gods and demons dragon knights in the space to yourself. The defense instantly soared by 12 trillion. After the gain of the god descends to earth skill, the overall defense suddenly soared to 3,720 trillion. Duration 10 minutes. At this moment, Suchen's flesh appeared in the sky. I am afraid that even if a high-level god takes action, he will not be able to break his defense. He laughed loudly at that moment, wanting to take advantage of Buddha Maitreya's momentary loss of concentration, to duck over, swing the heavy sword remnant, and launch hundreds of extremely fast attacks on it per second. However, Venerable Xianming and Venerable Ghost Prison, who had been hiding aside, had been waiting for Suchen's move. Seeing the opponent attacking Maitreya Buddha, it was actually a sneak attack. Across the void, he arrived behind Suchen in an instant. The two venerables worked together to launch a full blow at him. Die! Buddha Maitreya, who seemed to be stunned because the time and space fortress was not broken, suddenly turned to look at Suchen, showing his signature fake smile. At the same time, he stepped out again. This kick also carries 100 instant attacks. It turned out that this was actually a false flaw pretended by Maitreya Buddha. The purpose was to lure Suchen into taking the bait. Boom, boom, boom. The 3 powerful gods at the level almost launched an attack on Suchen at this moment. Later, a series of -0 immediately floated above the person's head. Hint. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 507. Ding. You are attacked by a primary god level attack. Skill adaptive resistance increases resistance to primary god level attacks by 1%. Ding. You are attacked by a primary god level attack. Skill adaptive resistance increases resistance to primary god level attacks by 2%. Ding. You are attacked by an intermediate god level attack. Skill adaptive resistance increases resistance to primary god level attacks by 3%. Ding. Ding. You are attacked by an intermediate god level attack. Skill adaptive resistance increases resistance to primary god level attacks by 100%. Ding. In just a moment, Suchen's adaptive resistance increased to the point where he was immune to primary god level attacks. But Maitreya Buddha's intermediate god level attack couldn't break Suchen's terrifying defense at this time. These three great deities would probably never have imagined that a person's defense could reach such astronomical figures as 1,860 trillion. Can't beat it? How can it be? The three great gods attacked together. But they found that not even a single hair of Suchen was knocked out. Maitreya Buddha, even his eyes popped out, and the signature fake smile on his face could no longer be maintained. He was a dignified mid-level god, and fired 2 full-strength blows in succession. I thought it was out of caution, and the lion fought the rabbit with all his strength. But I didn't expect that not only the time and space fortress could not be broken, but even the king's landing in front of me could not be destroyed. At this moment, Maitreya Buddha even had an illusion. Am I a fake Buddha? This time, the three gods were really stunned. Suchen, who had expected the situation, seized the opportunity. Turning the heavy sword in his hand into an afterimage, he attacked the weaker Venerable Xianming, cut it off. Not good. The attack came, and the blood volume was released wildly. The Venerable Xianming, who came back to his senses, quickly dodged and flew back. However, only the upper half of his body escaped into the void. The lower half of the body remained in place, with dark golden blood flowing like a giant, gushing like waves. Ding! Congratulations on successfully killing the junior god of the demon world, Venerable Xianming. Gain experience points *10 trillion. Obtain fragments of divine power *10. Your reputation in heaven is -10 trillion. In just 0.35 seconds, another ancient world protector died under Suchen's sword. Seeing this scene, Maitreya Buddha and Ghost Prison Venerable retreated wildly. He didn't even spare a harsh word, he went straight through the plain space of well of gods and demons and fled back to all realms. That decisive look was like seeing the most terrifying thing in his life. For fear of delaying even 0.01 seconds, the void battlefield at the entrance to the well of gods and demons finally became quiet. Only 3 giant corpses of gods and 3 main god corpses were left floating in the void, witnessing the terrifying battle before. Suchen stood proudly with his sword in hand. The sword body is still dripping with the dark golden blood belonging to the god. He smacked his lips twice, looking a little unfinished, and whispered, "It's a pity that 2 people ran away." With the power of the God Lord, Suchen is currently unable to catch up if he wants to escape. Immediately, he began to put the corpses of the deity and the main god into the space backpack, intending to throw them into the heavenly universe formation to convert them into energy. And until now, Levaden, who stood aside in shock, finally came to his senses. With a face full of grief and anger, he shouted to Suchen. "Are you telling me that you are the weakest of all people? You told me that you don't want to play melee combat, so you want to play archery instead. You told me that inviting me over would definitely make me steal the show. I believed your ghost. What the hell have I done to meet a pretender like you? Fraud." Suchen smiled awkwardly and stepped over to explain. Levaden reacted particularly fiercely and threw Suchen's hand away. "Especially don't touch me. I don't want to deal with you. The thousands-mile-long ocean overlord, all 10,000-mile tentacles are curled up at this moment. He looks as weak as an abandoned child, hiding in a corner of the void, autistic." Suchen, recalling what Levaden often said. "I, Levaden, was born and raised and live as long as the sun and the moon. How can I become a green leaf for others?" This time, he has become a green leaf in a down-to-earth manner. It is still very green. Come to think of it, I hurt him very deeply this time. Suchen sighed secretly. A man's sorrow can only be healed by time. No one else can intervene. Return to the time and space fortress. Yunfi Ian, Ji Mengli, and the other girls looked at Suchen. His eyes were shining brightly as never before. Lu Yuanzong, Gatling Bodhisattva, and the 12 ancient giant beasts all congratulated Suchen. Everyone looked at Suchen with eyes full of reverence. The person in front of me, single-handedly, powerfully killed 3 main gods, 2 junior gods, and 1 intermediate god. What a fighting force this is! How powerful this is! Before this, although everyone had some guesses about Suchen's true combat power, but no one thought that it would reach this level. It can kill even the intermediate gods. The 5 gods set up an ambush and killed each other, and they actually defeated each other. Among all the people, Lu Yuanzong, the beast god 9 Tails, and the ancient tree of life were especially excited. They all knew the secret that Suchen was the reincarnation of Qing Emperor. Although Suchen never admitted it. But these 3 people have all experienced the Qing Emperor's era thousands of years ago, and they are more familiar with the eternal emperor who once swept across the 6 realms and was invincible. It's coming soon, the day when your majesty will truly awaken is coming soon. Suchen quickly returned to the heavenly palace and sorted out what he had gained this time. Unexpectedly, by killing a junior god, you can actually get 10 fragments of the power of the god. And if you kill an intermediate god, you can get 5 more precious power of the god. Suchen looked at the 20 fragments of God's power and 5 God's power in his hand, and was overjoyed. Take out the heavenly book supplements now and start merging. Ding! It is detected that the current fusion contains power of God *5, which can greatly reduce the number of super god level fusions required for fusion. Whether to enable. Enable. The minimum number of super god level fusions currently required for fusion, 200 times. The heavenly book supplements that previously required a full 1000 super god level fusion times to fuse, now only needs 200 times to fuse. It is equal to an average of 1 power of God, reducing the need for 160 super god level fusions times. The number of super god level fusions Suchen currently has is 344. Choose fusion immediately. In the process of merging. This time the fusion was unusually slow compared to any other time. Suchen waited quietly. Waiting for the transformation of this book of heavenly relics in your hand. Once he succeeds, he will transcend the 6 realms, surpass the Qing Emperor's lifelong pursuit, and directly achieve the Great Road. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 508. As the integration proceeds, Suchen only felt that there seemed to be some extremely mysterious power of rules in the void around him, gradually gathering into the scavenged book supplements that was slowly sinking and floating in the air in front of him. The degree of this gathering surpasses the fire realm he created himself, the Tien Abyss land outside, and the 6 realms connected to the Tien Abyss land. Until it is connected to the entire divine continent and divine world. The rules are extracted and tempered until they are condensed into traces of original power, and added to the supplementary materials of the heavenly book. Time passed by minute. 10 minutes passed, an hour passed, a day passed, when Levaden reluctantly came out of his isolation and returned to the time and space fortress. The scavenged book supplements in front of Suchen finally began to undergo fundamental changes. The entire jade slip gradually merged into a 3-color jelly-like ball. Then it turns into a mass of colorless, formless, inexplicable matter between chaos and nothingness. At this point, finally, Suchen heard the long-lost system prompt. Ding! Fusion successful. Congratulations on successfully obtaining the world-class Heavenly Book Master Plan *1. Looking at the colorless and inexplicable matter in front of him, Suchen had an extremely strong impulse to comprehend it and integrate it into his own body. There seemed to be a voice in his body that kept shouting, "Understand it. Integrate it. We'll use it for your own use. You can use your divine power to reach the sky and reach everything. You can reach everything with your spiritual thoughts. Suchen immediately started to comprehend. Ding. The current realization takes 100 years. The player Junlin has a qualification star level of 25,969 and can accelerate 5,193.8 times. It takes time to fully understand, 7 days. Have you begun to understand? Friendly reminder, during the process of enlightenment, you will not be able to do anything. Please enter the safe area before enlightenment. What surprised Suchen was that it actually took 100 years to comprehend this general outline of the heavenly book. Fortunately, his current qualifications have increased by 1,000 every day through the divine wisdom attribute of the divine artifact supreme armor. The qualification star level has now reached nearly 26,000 stars. This has directly shortened the 100 years of enlightenment time to just 7 days. Suchen thought, after this strong suppression of the three gods, the 6 realms in a short time there should be no new actions within. Yingying was ordered to control the time and space fortress and wander towards the edge of the Tianyuan land. He himself immediately began to comprehend. 1 day passed. 2 days passed. 3 days passed. As time goes by, the artifact supreme armor is still adding thousands of stars to his qualifications every day. This also makes his enlightenment speed faster and faster. I believe that it only takes 6 days to complete this supreme armor. The general outline of the Book of Heaven, all thoroughly understood. Under the heavenly palace. Dragon City. Levaden was depressed every day, staying under the shade of the huge ancient tree of life, and sleeping. One day, he suddenly woke up and asked Yunfei who was passing by. Said ahem, that, sister-in-law, let me ask, what is that guy doing now? Haven't seen anyone for so many days? Well, of gods and demons, are you still going? Yunfei said casually, I'm in retreat. It's already the 6th day, and we don't know what he is doing, but thinking about it, when he comes out of isolation, he will definitely be even better. Yunfei smiled as he spoke. He smiled proudly and happily. Then he turned around and left. Levaden was left standing there. Retreat. Why do you want to retreat after just killing the god? Are you going to give others a chance to survive? Is this to surpass everyone in death? Levaden raised his middle finger to the sky angrily. Boom, boom. He just made this action. Suddenly, the whole fire world made a huge rumbling sound and shook violently. Lightning flashed and thundered in the 9 heavens, and the sky roared. One after another. Huge sky thunders as thick as buckets fell rapidly and extremely densely, splitting the surrounding earth into pieces. However, these sky thunders seemed to have spirituality and did not hit those buildings or Yunfei and others. But Levaden was still shocked. Damn it! This ancestor just made a small mockery, so he couldn't be so angry, right? He thought it was Suchen who discovered his little move and got angry. But in the heavenly palace hundreds of kilometers above the sky. At this moment, Suchen was surrounded by countless clouds for thousands of miles. There was lightning and thunder inside. At the same time, there is a trace of inexplicable breath created and born inside. That kind of breath, that kind of taste, it's like the breath of life just being born. Ding! Congratulations on your successful understanding of the general outline of the heavenly book. Because you understand the power of the original rules, your Heart of the World attribute, Level 1 creation technique is automatically upgraded to Level 3 creation technique, and you can create simple lives. Hearing the system prompt sound in his mind, Suchen slowly opened his eyes. At this time, the general outline of the heavenly book in front of him had completely merged into Suchen's body and disappeared. At the same time, there was something more in his soul. Extremely mysterious origin rules. This origin rule is the origin of the creation of the divine world. The so-called Tao generates 1, 1 generates 2, 2 generates 3, and 3 generates all things. This origin is the Tao that gives birth to one. The origin of the Tao. It is also the reason why the divine realm can evolve into the world it is today. Looking at the clouds gathering thousands of miles around, Suchen slowly exhaled a breath. He murmured in a low voice, "It turns out that this general outline of the heavenly book is not all the rules of the divine realm world. It is the original rule of all rules, which is the source of the power of thousands of rules. Now that I have understood the original rules, I only need to slowly deduce them. One day, I will be able to create perfect world rules and create a perfect world. However, if I can get the remaining information about the Tiangong creation magic, the speed of this deduction can be greatly accelerated." Suchen's mind flashed with enlightenment. Then he stretched out his hand. A cluster of bacteria that was constantly growing and multiplying floated in the clouds. He closed his eyes and deduced it again. The bacteria in his hand was just a simple cluster of single cells. It slowly changed. Gradually it turned into a grass seed. Then it sprouted and grew, until it turned into a green and strong grass with extremely tenacious vitality. It swayed slightly in the breeze. Suchen smiled slightly. He raised his hand and waved. On the Yanja continent below, the originally bare rocky ground was instantly covered with countless green grass. The entire land turned into a green. It also made this Yanja look like it finally had a bit of life, and was no longer the same as before. So desolate and monotonous. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion. Author, 7 years. Chapter 509. And this is just part of the magic of the power of the original rules. Internally, in Suchen himself, the power of this rule shows its great power in another way. When he tried to deduce his own skills with the power of this original rule, a magical scene happened. His skills are slowly climbing to higher levels. This kind of climb does not require unlimited fusion talent upgrades, but will automatically improve with the power of the original rules. 1 minute passed. Ding. Congratulations on your rare skill Brutal Crash, which has been successfully upgraded to the epic level. 10 minutes passed. Ding. Congratulations on your legendary skill Beast King's Strike, which has been successfully upgraded to the Saint level. An hour passed. Ding. Congratulations on your demigod level skill Divine Hiddenness Flashing, successfully promoted to God level. 6 hours passed. Ding. Congratulations on your magical skill 10-mile Divine Arm, which has been successfully upgraded to the general level 100-mile Divine Arm. Alert sounds kept ringing in Suchen's mind. The whole process does not require Suchen to do anything himself. All skills are automatically deduced and upgraded under the influence of the original rules. Even the top-level main magic skill Adaptive Resistance is slowly transforming, slowly climbing towards the higher junior god level. It just takes longer, about a few months, to complete this transformation. At the same time, the power of this original rule itself is also growing. Based on the amount of information contained in the 11% Tiangong creation obtained by Suchen, he quickly deduced and spread out the details. In Suchen's view, the power of the original rules given to him by the general outline of the heavenly book is like a root. God's creation divine magic is nourishment. The more nutrients are irrigated, the more countless hierarchical rules will evolve after the roots absorb nutrients and grow, sprout, branch and spread leaves. When it grew into a towering giant tree like the ancient tree of life, Suchen estimated that it meant that he had fully mastered all the rules of the divine world. At that time, everything in the divine world, including the 6 realms, will be used by him and changed according to his wishes. Even the billions of players, the gods and demons of the 6 realms, and even the lords of the 6 realms are no exception. Suchen closed his eyes and sat peacefully in the heavenly palace. Understand and evolve the power of the original rules. Suddenly, I feel blessed and a glimmer of enlightenment comes to my heart. It seems, as long as the power of this original rule is immortal, even if I am attacked by high-level gods or even the six world masters, I can maintain my immortality and even use their attacks for my own purposes. Suchen didn't know the extent of this immortality. I just feel that even if I enter the well of gods and demons and explore the ancient secrets with the demon lord, I don't have to worry about the demon lord suddenly bursting into rebellion. If you just rely on your own strength to deduce all the rules of the entire divine world, the speed will be too slow, and it will take 100 years to see the results. Suchen thought to himself. Thinking about it now, there are only two ways to speed up this kind of deduction. One is to rely on the super god level fusion talent to see if it can speed up. The other one is to go to the well of gods and demons to obtain the 10% information on the heavenly creations of the demon lord, and at the same time explore the ancient times to see if he can get more fragments of the heavenly book. The first method is the easiest to do. Suchen's infinite fusion talent can fuse any object. For super god level fusion, there is no limit to the level of the fusion object. In other words, even if it has been understood in the mind and becomes some kind of invisible rule, it can still be integrated. Ding. The minimum number of super god level fusions currently required for fusion, 10,950 times. Ding. It is detected that there are fragments of divine power *20 in the current fusion, which can greatly reduce the number of super god level fusions required for fusion. The minimum number of super god level fusions required for fusion, 10,670 times. Whether to enable. I'll go. To fuse and improve the power of the original rules, it actually requires a terrifying more than 10,000 super god level fusion times. Even if all 20 godly power fragments are used, it can only be reduced by 280 times. The total number of times is still up to tens of thousands. 10,670 times, at my current accumulation rate, it will take nearly a year to get it all, which is equivalent to shortening the 100-year ordinary deduction time by 100 times. But this time is still a bit long for Suchen. It seems that there are only two steps to take. Fragments of the heavenly book need to be collected, and the number of super god level fusions must be accumulated. Suchen now ended the retreat. After explaining some things to Yingying, Yunfeiyin and other women, he was about to step towards the well of gods and demons. Suddenly, he sensed Li Vaiden's aura in Dragon City below. After thinking about it, I felt that I should ask the other party if he wanted to go with him. After all, it was agreed to bring him here this time to explore the six realms together. At this moment, Suchen ducked under the ancient tree of life and found Li Vaiden, who was sleeping soundly. Brother Rishan, I want to go to the well of gods and demons. Can I go with you if you have time? Suchen smiled slightly. Li Vaiden opened his eyes and looked at Suchen. Seeing the other party's giggling look, he suddenly felt extremely ugly. He turned over and said in a low voice no. Then, as if he had thought of something, he turned around again and asked with suspicion, tell me the truth, what level has your strength reached during these 7 days of seclusion? Suchen felt that he could no longer deceive Brother Rishan, so he said honestly, well, I guess even if I meet the lords of the six realms such as the Jade Emperor and Tathagata, I can guarantee that I won't die. Li Vaiden was so shocked that his eyes almost popped out of his head. He didn't say a word for a long time. Damn it! Why am I so stupid to ask about my strength? Isn't this asking for abuse? I can guarantee that I will not die if I meet the Lord of the Six Realms. What the hell? There is a certain degree of bragging, and this strength is enough to crush my ancestor 100 times. Li Vaiden got up with a grunt. Then he dodged and flew out with an expressionless face. He planned to find an inaccessible place to hide, and continue to do it. Close. Watching Li Vaiden's lonely back disappear at the end of the sky, Suchen found that he seemed to have hurt this old man again. He shrugged and stepped out of the time and space fortress. Crossing the void, it didn't take long to arrive at gods and demons at the entrance to the well. There are countless space crystals stacked in front. There are countless planes flickering inside. The planes to the six realms are hidden in them. Suchen looked at these flickering space planes and subconsciously used the source the power of the rules was used to deduce, and new insights immediately emerged. Time also passed by unconsciously during this kind of deduction. Suddenly, a demigod-level magic soldier flashed out from a plane, facing Suchen woke up in shock and respectfully said, "I have kept Yan Emperor waiting for a long time, the master is already waiting deep in the well of gods and demons. Please follow me here. Online games, I really don't want to have unlimited fusion." Author, 7 years. Chapter 510. Suchen nodded. The power of the original rules is close to you, and there is also Hegemony Supreme Dragon King and other life-saving attributes. Suchen was not afraid of any ill intentions from the other party. Immediately following this demon soldier, he entered one of the planes and disappeared. Wait until he shows up again. Already in a ruins plane. Ding. Congratulations on successfully reaching number 905 ruins of time and space deep in the well of gods and demons, and successfully triggering the god-level hidden mission Ancient Wind. 3. The Secret of the Six Realms. Obtain qualification star level *1000. Please find the Lord of the Demon Realm Demon Lord who is in number 905 ruins of time and space. He will reveal to you the real secrets of the six realms and guide you to find the real ancient secrets. 2 system prompts came, and Suchen looked at this ruined plane curiously. He saw huge remains of time and space fortresses scattered everywhere. There were even fragments of the heart of time and space with a diameter of several kilometers. In addition, there are countless fragmented remains of the ancient Ming-Xian clan. These remains are often thousands of meters in size. A few remains are well preserved, sitting cross-legged on the ground, pointing to the sky, seeming to be accusing something. Suchen was a little surprised. Unexpectedly, the relationship between gods and demons among the countless planes connected by the well, there is actually such a ruined plane. This is a refuge for the Ming-Xian ancient clan, but it still cannot resist the catastrophe of the era. Everything here became history hundreds of millions of years ago. In front of a huge fragment of the heart of time and space, a handsome young man with long black red hair and a pair of spiral horns said with some emotion. The demon soldier who brought Suchen in bowed to the middle-aged man in great awe before carefully exiting the space. The middle-aged man turned around, and there were actually 3 pupils in his eyes. The 3 pupils in his left eye were black, and the 3 pupils in his right eye were red. The aura around him was restrained to the extreme, but it still gave people a sense of dominance and evil. The idea above his head is clearly the Lord of the Demon Realm, Demon Lord. He smiled and said to Suchen, "I'm glad you trust me so much and come to the depths of this well of gods and demons." Then he raised his hand and threw out a piece of black jade. "Here are the fragments of the Tiangong creation magic that I have collected throughout my life, accounting for approximately 10% of the knowledge of this volume of magic." Suchen took it casually. Ding. You get reproduction of heavenly book fragments *1. Reproduction of heavenly book fragments grade. Ancient grade. Description: here is a collection of information on 10% of the divine magic of Tiangong creation. You can comprehend it by pressing it between your eyebrows. Replica. Suchen looked at the black jade in his hand and said in surprise. The demon lord smiled bitterly. The original version was taken away by Qing Emperor 1,000 years ago. To be able to leave this replica version is that he gave me some respect. Suchen raised his eyebrows slightly. I think the Jade Emperor and the Demon Queen must have had the same experience thousands of years ago. Otherwise, how could the Qing Emperor collect the information about 90% of the heavenly craftsmanship? At the same time, he felt excited in his heart. With this information, if we can use the infinite fusion talent to fuse it, can we directly reach 100% complete information? In this way, I can directly deduce the original rules to the extreme and directly achieve the supreme power of creation. But this is not a suitable place for fusion. You can only try it when you are in a safe place. Demon Lord pointed at the surrounding ruins and said, since you have obtained the time and space fortress, you should have some understanding of the scene in front of you, right? Suchen nodded, and then said, I just don't know. The Ming-Seing ancient clan, a race with powerful talents, can even create a small world. Why can't they still avoid the fate of annihilation? Hearing Suchen's question, Demon Lord was slightly startled. You even know the secrets of the small world. It seems that time and space fortress has now been built into a new world by you, the seventh world. Suchen knew that the current 6 realms of gods and demons also evolved from the space-time fortress of the ancient Ming-Seing clan. It's not like the Demon Lord could deduce from his words that he had created the fire realm. How surprised he was. After all, this guy must know the origin of the 6 realms better than himself. At that moment, Suchen nodded calmly and did not deny it. The Demon Lord sighed as expected of the reincarnation of the Qing Emperor. He is actually like this in a short period of time. You can create your own 7th realm. Do you know how long it took for my 6th realm to evolve from a perfect level space-time fortress to where it is now? Suchen shook his head. Demon Lord stretched out a finger. 10 million years. If our 6 realms had not exhausted the power of hundreds of millions of gods and demons and searched for 60% of the fragments of the heavenly book in the world, I might not have been able to create these 6 realms in 30 million years. After sighing for a while, the Demon Lord pointed to the ruined space and said, but now, the fragments of the heavenly book scattered on the divine continent have basically been scavenged. Even if there are some missing, they are very small. After waiting for the 6 realms, we can only try to find more fragments of the heavenly book scattered by the Ming-Seing ancient clan in the countless planes of this well of gods and demons to complete the 6 realms. The Demon Lord shook his head and smiled bitterly, but there are countless broken planes here. Even if we search for tens of millions of years, I am afraid that I have only explored 1% of them in the 6 realms. Hearing Demon Lord's words, Suchen frowned and said, where did these broken planes come from? Are they all left by the Ming-Seing ancient clan? Demon Lord shook his head and said, what the Ming-Seing ancient clan left behind is only a few of them. Just a small part. He looked at Suchen, and the 3 pupils in his eyes flashed with a mysterious color. In other words, the Ming-Seing ancient clan is just one of the races destroyed by the catastrophe of the era. Suchen did not speak. He knew that the Demon Lord was taking over, coming down. The real secret of the origin of the 6 realms will be told. At the moment, I just listen quietly. The Demon Lord found a flat rock and sat down. Looking at the desolate sky of the ruined plain, he said slowly. In fact, there is no difference between us gods and demons and the ancient Ming-Seing clan. They are all the remnants of civilizations that were crushed by the catastrophe of the era. I, the Demon Lord, actually come from a void civilization. I once occupied tens of thousands of living planets, and my tribe multiplied to more than trillions. However, after experiencing the catastrophe, only 1 million survivors were left, lingering in a broken plane in the well of gods and demons. If he hadn't been lucky enough to enter a perfect space-time fortress left by the Ming-Seing ancient clan, he would probably have continued to sink until the clan was exterminated.